Look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now.
Not of this, motherfucker.
Gojira. I hope that comes across on the recording, honestly.
Oh, my God. Okay, welcome back to Am I the Asshole Sister segment, Lousy Show, part 2.1.
Asshole the I am.
Am I asshole thee?
I have the asshole.
Lousy assholes I am. Wait. Okay, anyways. We got 4 set up today. Sam, why don't you tell the people, what is today's topic?
Today's topic, we last time did football-related Am I the Asshole? This time we are doing a video game-related Am I the Asshole? And you found some doozies, apparently. So,
yeah,
because we were having a lovely conversation via Google Doc.
Let's discuss that for a second.
Just for a second, yeah. We go fast on this one.
Okay.
So I had texted you asking, hey, what do we want to talk about tomorrow? This was last night.
And I literally just sat down on my computer to pull up the doc that we have to look at ideas.
And I already had the doc up at that point, yeah.
And so I texted back saying, get out of my head.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then this conversation progressed to, I saw that you were in the doc, and I typed out a message wondering if you would see it. And then all of a sudden I see, and we just had a full-blown conversation in the Google Doc as to what we were going to talk about. So that led us to video games. I found 4. We're going to dive in. Let's go ahead and jump in. As always, like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. If you're on any listening sites, make sure to follow us there. But let's jump on in. Sam, I'll take the first one today.
Do it.
Am I the asshole for not letting my kid have video games?
Yes. Just off the title alone, yeah.
Well, let's find out what they have going on here. My oldest is turning 8 in June and asked for a video game console. My husband and I said no, because we don't want him indoors playing on it. We live in a very rural area where we regularly hike, mountain bike, kayak, rock climb, etc. We specifically moved to this area so our kids could grow up close to nature. Okay. This all started when we visited our old college friends who live in a city about 8 hours away. My oldest adores their 9-year-old, who is a big gamer. I have no doubt that the visit a few months ago sparked his interest, and since they've been video calling, our friends have called us to ask why we don't let him play video games. I told them our kids are outside sun up to sundown by choice, and we'd like to keep it that way, especially since there's no school until September. Having them play video games indoors when it's nice out is just not an example we want oldest to set for our younger two. Our friends started to get really defensive about their kid playing games, and things got awkward. My friends are split over if my husband and I are the assholes or not. I'm not even sure oldest would really like one or be interested if it weren't for our friend's kid, as he's never expressed interest before and rarely watches TV or plays on the computer. Are we the assholes?
I already know I'm good. I'm confident. Goddamn. I mean, it's teaching the balance. Like, you can do both in healthy ways. I mean, I'm not saying that spending your entire time outside is unhealthy. However, it's nice to just chill inside sometimes, you know? And so while it's your kid, raise them how you want, you know, clearly that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I don't know if I would call them the assholes, but I actually, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna say yes. They are the assholes, and it's more just because like in this context, like they're basically just trying to say that being inside at all while it's nice outside is a bad thing, which it's not. If you do it too much, yes, that is 100% not a good thing. So it's finding the balance, I think, is the thing there, and letting them enjoy multiple facets of life all in one go. And like, sure, it's going to tempt the younger ones, but just set an age where you can start playing video games. It's kind of like the same thing with cell phones. You know, like for example, a lot of parents will get their oldest a cell phone, but then the middles won't get them, and that's nothing wrong with that. So.
I'm going to say everyone's the asshole, minus the kid.
Oh yeah, kid's not an asshole. Yeah, for sure.
The reason I say everyone's the asshole is here's the point. I agree with you fully.
Actually, yeah, I think I'd agree with you, but go ahead.
I agree with you fully that there needs to be a balance.
Yeah.
You know, if you moved up to a rural area, so when you're parenting kids like this, if you make the decision to move to a rural area, you are making that decision that's impressionable towards the entire family.
Yeah.
No matter where you go. Okay. And the thing is, your kid, as they grow older, is going to start gaining something that a lot of people forget we actually developed early on, and that's called a personality.
What?
And that personality might not be exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
When they are in toddler phase or young child phase, you know, before kindergarten, they're a different kid than they are when they get into, you know, the 7th to 8th, 9s, even the 11s, 12s, 13s. Like, you go through phases. We all did it.
Yeah.
So these parents, what they're trying to do is they're trying to enforce a household where they are specifically allowing what happens and nothing else, period.
Yeah.
I get that. Can't tell someone how to parent their kids. However, it sounds to me like friends of said parents are trying to tell them or convince them to change their mind to let their kids start playing video games. And they're almost in the reverse saying, you shouldn't let your kid play as much video games as you do because we're high and mighty since we let our kids go outside all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, your kids go outside. But what happens when the sun's down?
You just go to sleep.
Yeah. You just, oh, sun's down. You know, like, no.
Yeah.
So that you could let them play a couple hours of video games, go to bed. Next day, go get dirty again. Go play up in the mountains. Go play with bobcats.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who fucking cares? I don't agree with this. And especially because they said, I'm not even sure oldest would really like one or be interested if it weren't for our friend's kid, as he's never expressed interest before and rarely watched TV or plays on the computer. It's called new experiences for a reason.
Yeah.
You even said, where was it? We don't want to play indoors. We live in a very rural area where we regularly hike, mountain bike, kayak, rock climb. We specifically moved to this area so our kids could grow up close to nature. So you're trying to make it impressionable while closing off other areas of interest without them ever getting a chance to experience it.
Yeah.
So now that they've experienced it, they're showing, oh, actually, I do like that. Mom, Dad, would it be cool if I got this? And you're just straight up saying, no, that's not.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's not cool at all.
Yeah.
So I think that parents and friends alike are both assholes.
Yeah.
Everyone's the asshole in this segment, and I think that.
Yeah, I agree with that actually.
I
except
think
for the
that,
kid.
Yeah, except for the kid. Except for the kid. The kid has done nothing wrong here. I think that the kid deserves to at least try it to see.
Yeah.
Go buy a used console. Go buy a used computer.
Get a Switch, like you know, like a Switch Lite. You know, it's pretty
Something
cheap.
cheap.
Gets everything that you need right there.
Yep.
Like,
Let's see what they say here. I'm really curious. I mean, your parents making parenting decisions for the children that you parent. I don't think this is really an am I the asshole thread. However, you're not making any sense, at least in this post. I told them our kids are outside sun up to sundown by choice, and we'd like to keep it that way, especially since there's no school until September. How's it by choice if you're denying the children other options on how to spend their time? Exactly.
it's the parents' choice, not the kids.
Correct.
Like at all.
Why do you dislike video games? Have you ever played any? What games specifically are your children asking for? What specifically are the benefits you believe them to be losing by playing games? Can you not enforce time limits to teach them? Exactly. Everything we've already said. The reason I'd go with you're the asshole is that it sounds like y'all just don't like video games for no real reason, which is fine and all. They're your kids, but you're an asshole for pretending it's about other things. Your friend is probably defensive because they can tell your beliefs about video games, and therefore those who play them aren't really based on anything and are likely prejudicial. That's very true.
Really well said.
Yes,
honestly.
I iHack, phenomenal comment there.
Yeah.
You're the asshole, but just. You said they are outside by choice, but you already know that one of your children wants to and would spend time gaming with his friend, so you are making that decision for them. You can game with your friend from X to X, then you turn it off. Problem solved. Exactly. You're the asshole. You're the asshole.
There were some replies to the port one. I wonder if they replied to it.
Let's take a look. Oh,
it got deleted.
all of it got deleted.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're the asshole mildly. Nah, but if I may make a suggestion,
Not asshole.
oh, not an asshole.
Yeah.
Not an asshole, but if I may make a suggestion, the vast majority of my early knowledge and interest in computers has come from playing video games. modding games, troubleshooting issues with modding, using Google to find exactly what I need to that end, writing macros, code, etc. When I got my first office job, writing macros to automate my job was what got me promoted. My boss at that firm got me a connection at my current job, which allows me to live quite comfortably. I would suggest a PC over a console. You can learn a lot, and those skills can be used for the rest of your life. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on. So the original poster is Video Games 2849.
Yeah, so they did respond to that
They
one.
did respond here. It was,
Yeah.
we have laptops and a PC. He uses both, but rarely is interested enough. My husband actually works in software programming right now. I mean, sounds to me like you already have a platform to give your kids video games. They shouldn't be picky. Then again, I am a firm PC master race person, so my advice may be skewed in that direction. Here's my problem with this comment here. We have laptops and a PC. He uses both, but rarely is interested enough. What that means is he is interested in playing video games. He's not interested in using the PC to go Google search whatever or do whatever programs that you're wanting him to do on there.
Yeah.
He's interested in playing video games.
Yeah.
And that has not been introduced in a PC format yet.
It's probably they have a console.
Yeah.
I mean, like the vast majority of America has either an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch as far as like video game players. And so, yeah, like PC is still kind of technically a minority.
Yep.
In that, but
And it seems like we're pretty divided here. Like I'm seeing a lot of division between you're the asshole and not the asshole.
I mean, because like at the end of the day, they're not doing anything like to harm the child, but I think they could help their child better if they allowed them to follow their interests and express themselves, as opposed to trying to dictate what their life is going to be.
I just want to sit here and still sit on the soapbox of everyone's the asshole, because at the end of the day,
the other parents shouldn't have gotten defensive either.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you parent your kids the way you should. You parent them. Like that's just how it is. No one can tell you how to parent your kids.
Yep.
And if they do, cut them off. Like don't even acknowledge it. But with that being said, the problem I have here is these parents are actively showing that their kids are interested, but saying, "Oh, but my kids aren't interested." But you said they were. Like you're just trying to justify your very firm, almost near unjust value of what you see video games at, which is clearly not good, and trying to use that to not only fight against your friends when you shouldn't be fighting them against them anyways. You should just tell them, hey, look, it's our kids, we're gonna parent them the way we want, and cut it off there. But now you're also going to the internet to pound on your chest saying, well, this is why I think we're not the asshole. Well, no, but you're proving more and more why you and your friends are both assholes. So period.
I think just they need to just get them something and then just be a parent and limit that time.
Exactly.
So
couldn't agree more.
Yep.
On to the next. Sam.
Yes, sir.
By all means.
Am I the asshole for getting mad at my parents for selling my video games for practically nothing? Oh. I, 19 male, live with my parents, and we were in the process of moving to a new house. My parents decided to host a yard sale, and since I wasn't available to help, they asked me if I'd be willing to sell some of my old video games if they paid me back. I told them it was fine, but I handed them a list of video games I didn't want them to sell and told them to look up how much the games were worth before selling them. I didn't expect them to sell a lot of them, given that most of the games I own right now cost a small fortune online. When I got back home from the yard sale, they handed me just under $200. When I asked where my games were, I found that nearly all my GameCube, DS, and 3DS games had been sold, including one that I wrote down on my list. Some of the games cost hundreds of dollars to buy, so I knew my parents didn't look up the prices like I said. When I called them out on it, they said that if I wanted things done right, I should have been there, and also mentioned that they paid for some of the games themselves. I've never gotten in any serious arguments with my parents before, but I told them that until they gave me what I would have gotten by selling the games online, which would have been over $2,000, I didn't want to hear any more of their bullshit. My mom's acting like nothing happened, and my dad's refusing to talk to me. Am I the asshole?
No.
Ooh.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You are not the asshole, and I will tell you why you're not the asshole, because you know the value of the products that you own, and you know exactly what they should have gone for. You went the extra mile to make sure your parents had a proper list put together of what to sell.
Yeah.
You know exactly what was supposed to be gone. You know what wasn't supposed to be touched, and your parents disregarded that because they tried to justify by saying, well, we bought some of them for you.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking matter. Oh, my God, dude. Oh.
Yeah, that one's rough.
Oh.
Like,
No, you're not the asshole. You are not the asshole. Your parents are the assholes. And I firmly believe, absolutely without a doubt, because you went that extra mile, they should pay you for exactly what you should get.
I mean, yeah, it's I agree that he's not the asshole. I just I don't know if I would trust my parents to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I trust my parents implicitly. The thing is, when it comes to if you're trying to get maximum value for what you're selling, you should have a more direct hand in it, as opposed to handing it over to, let's face it, a boomer that probably doesn't really know. Well, they're probably not boomers, but you know what I mean? That doesn't really know what's going on and doesn't really care. They're just doing the garage sale to clean out some shit.
Here's why I disagree with you.
Okay.
This line right here. Let me see. My parents decided to host a yard sale, and since I wasn't available to help, they asked me if I'd be willing to sell some old video games if they paid me back. I told them it was fine, but I handed them a list of video games I didn't want them to sell and told them to look up how much the games are worth before selling them.
Yeah.
Very clear, very direct, very specific. I agree to the point of having a more direct hand in this situation.
Yeah.
Maybe go ahead and look up the prices so that way you know. But any parent who cares about their children, knowing that it's something of value to them, you're going to want to go the extra mile to make sure, okay, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're making a conscious effort, a conscious, mature effort to not only help us with this move, help us with this garage sale, but you're giving up something that you care about.
Yeah.
Let me make sure this is taken care of.
Yeah. I think he should have at least just done the research beforehand and told him, hey, this is how much you should sell them for.
That I agree with.
That's the only thing that I would change here, is, instead of trusting them to do that, just do it yourself to make sure that it's part's done right. But yeah, it's otherwise not the asshole.
That just hurts my soul thinking about that.
Yeah, that's rough. That's really rough.
And also for the fact that I think my mom's acting like nothing happened, but my dad's refusing to talk to me. That's just shitty.
Yeah.
Parents need to swallow pride too.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, you just say, I apologize, but I'm not going to be able to pay you back.
Yeah, just have a real conversation about it.
Yeah, it's if you can't pay him back, you can't pay him back.
Even if you can't pay him back, find a means to an end.
Yeah.
Find a means, be like, hey, look, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Here's how we want to fix this. It can't be monetary. We can't do that, especially with a move.
Yeah.
Here's, sit down and break that down however you need to. But I'm really curious how the comments are going to look at this because
this one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's 592 comments on this one. So here we go.
Everyone's sort of
the asshole, though you more than them. They shouldn't have sold the games you wrote down. That is point blank. However, you should have just said no if you had such clear price expectations. On yard sales, you can't expect to make thousands. Hell, even 200 is a lot there. I disagree. You pretty much expected them to do the work as you weren't available. If you wanted the big prices, you should have taken them online yourself. Why should OP not expect them to do the work if they offer to do it? True. OP didn't come up with the idea of selling the games. The parents did, and the parents agreed to look up the prices like OP said. They obviously didn't. OP didn't force them to sell the games or anything like that. If they weren't selling for the right prices, then OP's parents shouldn't have sold them. I agree. There's 111 comments on this. Oh my God. We're not going to go through this, but yard sales are for getting rid of things, not making bank. If OP valued these things as much. I disagree. I think
it's good to get a fair, you can expect a fair value.
Yes.
If you labeled it like a moving sale and said please just come get rid of my shit.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Man, imagine if OP gave them a list of things not to sell. That would have solved everything, right? This isn't about what yard sales are for. The parents agreed to look at the prices online before selling, and they didn't. Exactly. That's exactly right. No, I agree with everything they're saying there. You're the asshole. I don't think you know how yard sales work. You're never going to get $2K for those video games.
Everybody has this common thing of you're not going to be able to sell things for a fair price at a yard sale.
I think everyone has an skewed version of how yard sales work.
Yeah.
Because yard sales, you make the price, and someone can come talk to you like, hey, would you take this much for it? It's called negotiations.
Yeah.
The same thing happens. You ready for this? Online.
Yeah.
The same thing happens online. So basically, if you go to Facebook Marketplace, it's basically an online yard sale.
Yeah.
You message them directly, be like, hey, would you be willing to take this much for it? If they say no, okay, cool. Counter offers, whatever. Yard sales are no different. The only difference there is you're in person shopping the stuff that they have in their yard.
Yeah. This is a good one here. Not the asshole. Situation reversed. Your old man would be choked as fuck if those were his golf clubs, collector hockey cards, retro Playboys, or whatever. Especially if the selling price was well under what he knew what they were worth. I'd tell Pops to pound sand. I don't know about that last one. I mean, he's just, well, yeah, no, that's right. He said he's refusing to speak to him. So yeah, that's.
Yeah. Counterpoint, Pops would never agree to let someone else sell something valuable in his yard sale, because it's a freaking yard sale. Again, why do people not understand how yard sales work?
What do you think a yard sale is?
Let us know in the comments.
Because it can be whatever you want it to be, really. Like, you can either have it get rid of my shit, or hey, I'm selling some stuff. Let's talk.
Oh, hang on. Hey, Dad, can I sell some of this old exercise equipment and sports stuff? Yeah, I guess, but stay away from my golf things. Hey, Dad, I sold everything. Here's $200. You sold my clubs. I specifically asked you not to sell those. That was a full set and it's still original bag. They're worth more than $200 by themselves. They can't be worth that much. It's a bunch of old toys. Reddit. If he didn't want to sell the clubs, he should have moved them somewhere else. No one is paying full price for things at a yard sale anyway, so why is he even mad? They're both assholes. I disagree. A yard sale? Okay, hold on. I just want to, I'm going to put a stamp on this, and I just don't want us to touch it anymore if we can.
Yeah.
A yard sale is not a poor man's shopping spree.
No.
A yard sale is where you go to buy other people's shit that they don't want anymore. If you have a price in mind, that's boo-hoo on you.
Yeah.
You chose to put that price in mind, not them. In this event, those things should have been priced appropriately. They should have been sold appropriately. You're not expecting to get full price for them. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Negotiations aside, you're not going to get full price for that kind of stuff. But it's no difference than me selling my fucking Super Star Destroyer box that I sold.
Yeah.
I set that price. The precedent. I did the research on it. I saw that some of those boxes were going for even $400 to $500, brand new. Like, I'm talking mint.
Yeah.
Mine had a couple dings in it. I set it for $400 to let people talk me down. Ended up selling for $200 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because in my head, the person who did the negotiations was like, hey, I'll offer you this much. This is why. Hey, you know what? You're right. Exactly. Send me some references. Perfect. Nut. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Met them, sold the box, done deal. But that's because someone like that. Again, it's just like a yard sale. You do the negotiations.
Yeah.
If you set the price low, that's on you. Pops and moms over here decided to put the price super low on something they weren't supposed to. Yep. After they said they were going to do the.
I think this one we can conclude by saying, learn what a fucking yard sale is.
Learn what a yard sale is, and this dude,
he's not the asshole.
I'm not. Not the asshole. Parents are the asshole here.
Yep.
All right, next up. I'll take this one. Am I the asshole for unplugging my son's video game? My son is always playing video games, which I don't bother him about it too much because he gets good grades. But today I just wanted the family to spend time with each other with electronics off, and I already told them this beforehand. Okay. I was cooking in the kitchen and came to the family room to see him playing his PS4 game, Sekiro Samurais or something like that, and told him to turn it off. He told me 10 minutes, and I agreed. I came back 20 minutes later, and he is still on it. I once again told him to turn it off, and he told me he's on the final boss, and he'll be able to turn it off soon. So once again, I told him no, that we had an agreement, and he refused once again, telling me he's so close and to wait. At this point, I was kind of upset since he disobeyed me twice and didn't honor the agreement, so I unplugged it. He then got upset and told me that he now can't beat the game and I ruined it for him. He then stomped upstairs. I feel kind of bad for doing that, but I feel disrespected that he didn't listen to me. Am I the asshole of should I have let him finish his gaming match?
Hey everyone, if you're enjoying the show, make sure to subscribe or follow depending on the site that you're on, and make sure to drop a like on the video. If you have any lousy ideas for the show, feel free to email them to us at thelousypodcast@gmail.com or join the Discord by using the link in the description. Back to the show.
First of all,
I'm torn on this one because the kid in me is like, that fucking bitch. But the adult in me kind of is like, she's got a fucking point. And especially because if it is Sekiro, you can fucking pause that game.
Yeah, it's not
like
online.
it's not online. So like if it was an online game, I would have some I would be more leaning in the kid's favor in this scenario.
Because a lot of those, you know, you like if you stop exactly where you are, you'll die, you lose a lot of progress, things like that.
Yeah.
And I understand Sekira's a Souls game, so like, you know, there might be some shit there from
For
once
anybody,
you unplugged it.
for the non-common folk out there, a Souls game is a very difficult campaign-based game.
Yep.
Where if you do die in the game, you do lose a significant amount of progress.
Yeah,
So.
it's like a pretty significant amount. So like, yeah, he's gonna have to go back, but he shouldn't have gotten to the boss point. Like if he knows that like I have to be off this game soon, like you know you're not gonna try to fight that you're not gonna one shot a boss in Sekiro.
No, no, you're gonna spend a better part of an hour on there.
Yeah, so God, I hate that I'm saying this. She's not the asshole.
So
She communicated her thoughts clearly. She had an expectation of her son, allowed extra grace period on top of that, and then he still was refusing to listen.
well,
So you're more qualified to say anything on this because you are the parent here. But like
Yeah.
I feel like logic base would make sense.
so here's the problem.
Okay.
Here's the problem for me is I game,
Yeah.
and when my son gets old enough, if he chooses to do so, and he wants a game, I will understand what that looks like.
Yeah.
If he's in the middle of a Fortnite match or something, I'm not going to tell him to shut the game off or
Pause the game. We got stuff to do. Yeah.
this individual does not know gaming based on the terminology and lingo that was stated in this entire segment.
Sekiro Samurais or something.
Yeah. At this point, I was kind of upset because since he disobeyed me twice and didn't honor the agreement, so I unplugged it. He then got upset and told me that he now can't beat the game, and I ruined it for him.
He can beat
He
the
then
game.
stomped upstairs. So here's a couple things. One, this kid is young.
Yeah.
Two, we've all used that excuse before.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
Three, I think unplugging it is a bit too far.
I mean, what like how else are you gonna do it? Like if you need to, like if you want them to stop right then and there, how do you get them to stop otherwise? I'm genuinely asking. You know,
I would ask them to pause the game for a moment. See, so I'm trying to look at this through the lens of someone who doesn't understand gaming.
Yeah.
I think kids take advantage of parents who don't understand gaming, and that's where my son's fucked.
Yeah.
Because he's never going to be able to do that against me.
Nope.
Especially if my wife goes like, "Hey, can you pause that game?" And he goes, "Mom, I can't. What are you playing?" "Oh, I don't know. Fucking Assassin's Creed." "Yeah, you pause that fucking game." Like, so I.
Like I said, I don't like it, but
In my stomach.
yeah, it felt gross saying it.
In my stomach, there's a pit.
Yep.
She's not the asshole.
Yep.
Like the kid knew. The kid pushed those boundaries. Now and this is also something that I feel like the kid's younger here.
Yeah.
Because teenagers don't push boundaries like that to a degree.
Yeah.
But it's the stomped upstairs part for me. It's like
Yeah.
I'm just I can't beat the game now. We've all been there. Yeah. But I mean, he or she. I don't even know if we got a she or he at this point. But the parent, I feel kind of bad for doing that. I feel disrespected that he didn't listen to me. Am I the asshole, or should I let him finish his gaming match?
It does say Jen, am I the asshole throwaway? So I think
Okay.
I think it's a she.
Okay, we'll say she then. Knowing the game, no, don't let him finish that because he's gonna be on that game for the next hour and a half minimum.
Yeah.
Knowing that you don't know anything about the game, I don't think you're an asshole at all.
Yeah.
Because you're in uncharted territory as well as a parent who doesn't understand gaming, and I firmly believe here that your kid will get over it.
Yeah. I'll get over it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that your family evening was probably ruined because of this, and that sucks. As someone who takes family time very importantly, like I love cooking for family time, and I can imagine this was ruined. But yeah, I don't think you're the asshole,
Yeah.
and it hurts me to say that because I was really hoping your kid would be right in this one. But Let's see what everyone says. Sometimes the average age of the sub is glaringly obvious. You asked him to get off in 10 minutes. He still wasn't off after 20 and would obviously be longer and wasn't listening at all. Unplugging his game is not the end of the world. He can absolutely still beat the game, even if it set him back some. And this is coming from someone who plays WoW like a full-time job. Exactly. Long story short, not the asshole. I understand you're feeling bad, but you're not the asshole. I run into playing games but then life happens and I got to go. It sucks if you're in a cutscene or can't save, but when that happens, I just put the PS4 into rest mode, and then when it's convenient later, I can pick it back up where I was. Exactly. He could have done that, although I don't know. Maybe he didn't know about that feature. IDK. Not the asshole. You warned him that will be a no video game day, and he gave him like 10 minutes to finish the game, but he should not have started. 20 minutes after he's still playing it. What he did was an enormous disrespect, and you should see what it's happening. Yeah, no, I agree. Not the asshole. It sucks.
Yeah. Sounded like a lot of not the assholes.
Yeah, that's all I'm seeing. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Yeah, you're not the asshole here.
They're saying so many people, but I'm assuming that was like the initial wave of teenagers that were on there. Like, no.
I actually want to go looking now and see.
While you're doing that fun little story, whenever my parents would take away anything from me, they would take the power cord to my TV. But little did they know, my dad used to get like Storage Wars. They would buy the storage units. So we had like a little tiny TV in the garage that I ended up sneaking up to my room, put it in my closet, and then I moved my video game consoles over to that whenever I got in trouble.
Yeah, no, I remember you telling me about that.
Yep.
All right, so I'm definitely not a parent, but time limits on video games are probably my worst enemy. What I would like my parents to do is understand a bit of what's going on so they can see if something's changed. Like if they came back and I was in a different spot in the game, I'd be the asshole. You're a very mature 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Holy shit. This post seems kind of fake. How? Okay.
If you scroll down far enough, I think it's all irrelevant.
Ooh, here we go. You're the asshole for the single reason that unplugging a PS4 like that can literally brick the console and corrupt all of his save files. Next time, just take the controller away from him and turn it off. Never pull the plug on a console.
The chances of that are so low. Like,
yeah, I don't.
So low. Like,
I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to justify what they be. You're trying to justify with the most minuscule BS answer to make it so that they feel like the asshole here and they're not. Like, let's see. Hang on. Info. Did he actually agree to this, or did you just tell him how it would be? Because from what you put, it was not family time if you were cooking. I'm going to say not the asshole for telling him to turn it off, and if you made sure that the console was off before unplugging. If you just unplugged straight from the wall, you're the asshole, and I hope you would have bought a replacement if doing that broke the console. Oh my God. Okay. So what we have is a bunch of people in here who actually understand what being a parent is,
we
and
have
also
the adults and we have the kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
I said, the kid in me wants to say, yeah, she's a fucking bitch, but the adult in me knows better.
Yep.
I don't like it. But.
Yeah. No, you're not the asshole, Jen. Am I the asshole throwaway?
Yep.
All right. Last one, Sam. Send it.
Am I the asshole for hating it when my husband plays video game? This is gonna be a doozy. I know. So yeah, am I the asshole for hating it when my husband plays video games? I know, fucking classic. I game too when I have time, which is basically never. I'm trying to be supportive of my husband's hobbies, but he told me today that he feels guilty every time he leaves me to play video games online with his friends. I admit I do feel sad whenever he gets a text that takes him away from spending time with me, as we both are busy. He works full time. I'm a full time STEM student, and don't have much alone time together. But I don't try to stop him from what he wants. I told him he's allowed to go play games, and I'm allowed to be sad about it. But he says he's respectful about it, and what's the point in asking me first if I'm just going to say no? We currently have the 2 nights a week that we are basically entirely set aside for him to game, but he jumps at the chance to game literally every single time his friends ask. I thought that 4 to 6 hours a week was normal, but he says he's extroverted and needs more time with his friends, and sometimes claims that that some hours didn't count because he was playing with strangers instead of his friends, or they spent time booting up or what have you. He's also very loud, with me studying from home involuntarily thanks COVID. How old is this? Oh yeah, 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah. It makes it very difficult to focus, even with earplugs, noise canceling headphones, and brown noise. I think you mean white noise there.
Dude, you shit yourself, bro.
Math. And brown.
Yo, I shit on this test, bro.
Literally. I brown noise blasted on full. Even those 2 nights a week carves into my work, as I have to ask him to quiet down a lot. His gaming PC is in the same room as my work PC, and there's not really a space for him nor I to move elsewhere to go about our business. How much gaming is normal? Am I the asshole for expressing my disappointment when he goes to game? What should I do to be less of a loser wife? Edit, I'm a 22 female. He's a 23 male. I mean, she is justified in her beliefs. I mean, like, you can't take that away from people. Like, yeah, you can be sad about it, but it's his hobby. But I mean, it's kind of like we were talking about before, and like, you got to find the balance of it. Now, I definitely agree he should maybe be a little more quiet if they have that amount of space. I don't know, because like my wife and I used to share an office while she was going to school. And, I would do my best to try to stay as quiet as I could during that, just out of respect. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we didn't really get any updates other than she said that, like, she has to ask him to quiet down a lot. You go ahead. I got to ponder this a bit.
I think we're both very reserved in answering this one because of who's watching.
I'll be watching you, Wazowski.
Right?
Always watching.
So I want to start by saying this. This is a classic case of Reddit one-sided stories.
Yeah.
We are hearing solely her side from this. And something in me feels like there's a deeper rooted or deeper seated point to all of this.
Yeah.
That the gaming side doesn't exactly like, okay. Especially at the time that this was happening. So this was 3 years ago in COVID time. There was not much else to go fucking do.
Yeah. That, and also you need alone time.
Correct.
Like separate time for that.
Correct.
So like my wife and I have separate offices, like now, thankfully. But,
yeah.
But we share a wall.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm going to say everyone's the asshole. And here's why.
Okay.
Most cases, I would say she's the asshole in this segment because it feels very one-sided.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm going to say everyone's the asshole because of the information we've been provided. And here's the thing. I want to go through this piece by piece real quick, just briefly. Try to be supportive of his hobbies. Told me that he feels guilty every time he believes to play video games with his friends. I admit I do feel sad whenever he gets a text that it takes me away from spending time with him as we're both busy. Okay, so thinking back at the COVID times, where's he going? I mean, you're spending time with him all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's just not directed time.
Correct.
I guess you could say it's not like directly at each other. You're just physically in the same spot.
He works full time. I'm a full time STEM student. Okay. Don't have much alone time together, but I don't try to stop him from doing what he wants. Okay. I told him, this is the part that got me. I told him he's allowed to go play games. And I'm allowed to be sad about it.
Okay.
When you tell somebody that they are allowed to do something, you have put a level of almost like what's the word? A level of power on it, as if I am to respect your exact wishes because you said you allowed me to go do something.
Yeah.
That's not how relationships work. But she did follow up by saying she's allowed to be sad about it. Sure. He says he's respectful about it, but what's the point in asking me first if I'm just going to say no? We currently have 2 nights a week that are basically entirely set aside for him to game, but he jumps at the chance to game literally every single time his friends ask. He probably really enjoys gaming, and he doesn't want to try and piss you off by saying, hey, I'd like to go spend more time gaming when y'all aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
that's 5 nights a week that he has nothing else going on. If y'all are just sitting there and there's just a TV show on and y'all aren't really doing anything, or y'all aren't cooking together or cleaning the house together or boning or whatever you're wanting to do, there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
So what's the harm in him going to play that video game?
True. Yeah.
Then she goes on, I thought 4 to 6 hours a week was normal.
That's low.
I am at my computer
Yeah.
gaming almost every night.
Yeah.
Almost every night, but that's also not just gaming. Like I'm there at my computer doing just God knows everything else, like editing for this, as far as thumbnails or whatever, like my own content, playing video games, whatever, streaming even. So I am there every night. But for someone who's just gaming, he says he's extrovert and needs more time with his friends. That's a valid point. If he's being honest about saying that he needs more time with his friends so he can feel, that, especially at the time that this was written, like extroverted people being stuck inside like that sucked.
Yeah.
I know that was like, I was in the exact same boat.
I wish I was stuck inside. Fuck.
I mean,
I was not. At all. I think I can agree to everyone's the asshole, because like basically it sounds like it's the and she hit the nail on the head right at the beginning. Fucking classic. But, it's, while yes, you said saying aloud. I don't think she meant aloud and like she's giving the permission for it, because she was clear also saying that like what's the point in asking if I'm just going to say no. So like it's still like she understands the freedom of choice there.
Yeah.
But so you can be sad about it, but as long as he is respectful, which it doesn't sound like he is, of her space too.
Yeah, and that's where I think everyone's the asshole.
Yeah, because like if he's just being loud and a dick and well, not a dick, if he's just being like really loud and obnoxious, then he needs to chill out a little bit or take some time off.
I want to also bring up, she asked how much gaming is normal. Am I the asshole for expressing my disappointment when he goes to game? What should I do to be less of a loser wife? I don't think you're a loser wife.
Yeah, no.
I think you're a loser wife if you don't communicate.
Yeah. It's definitely always about communication. We said the same thing this time.
Yay! Anyways, I think that you need to learn a better means to communicate with your husband. Yeah.
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 Husband.
You need to be have a better means to learn how to communicate, with your husband on what you would like.
Yeah.
But he also has to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He can't just expect you to understand. I know, like, you and I, our wives, they don't do gaming. Gaming doesn't resonate with them. They don't understand that side of things. But they do listen when we say, hey, this is something we really enjoy. This is like time at our computers means something to us.
Yeah.
It's that time for us. I think that this is a classic situation of shitty communication, especially at this time when you really needed it. There's no clear defining, understanding as to who wants what. You're both kind of doing your own thing and expecting the other person to just fall in line with it.
Yeah.
And I would ditch the mentality of you just going to go ahead and say no, or carving out specific time to allow him to game. I think you both should have very healthy hobbies that you both enjoy and both find space in order for you to do that.
Yeah. Maybe if they can move to a bigger place.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, of course, that's not always going to be, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But, if you can definitely find some space for each other.
Yeah.
Or for yourself.
Having separate hobbies like that is important. Like, or not separate hobbies, separate rooms for your hobbies, I should say.
Yeah.
Is very important.
They're just separate, just having your own space to do what you want. Yeah.
I'm curious what the votes here were. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
I'm going to say not the asshole, but I don't think his gaming is all that much. I'm over 40 and game more than that, married, multiple kids. The thing is, it sounds fairly inconsiderate. I typically wait until my wife is sleeping or everyone's totally occupied with something else. Rare. I don't want to interfere with us time. Sometimes we will watch TV or something, and I'll ask if she minds if I go upstairs. But if she needs me or wants to spend time, I'm happy to put it on hold. Exactly.
Yeah, because that's kind of like with you, like your wife and child are asleep usually when you're upstairs.
Correct.
Doing your thing,
Yep.
So yeah, you carve the time out when it's the most convenient to do so. So it's being considerate of each other's time.
Yep. Let's go down here. Not the asshole. He needs to pick a better time to game. And if he's jumping up to play with his buds every time they ask and has not made any compromise, then just being inconsiderate of you. I'm still erring on the side of it. That's half right. That's half right.
I mean, like from a non-gamer perspective, that's what it would look like probably. But it's, I mean, especially like a lot of multiplayer games, like when they're a lot more fun when you got a bunch of buds together, like you got to take advantage of those moments. So.
Let's see. Not the asshole. I mean, asking what is normal is a loaded question. Normal is different, everyone. Exactly. I play probably around 5 to 6 hours a week, but we are in a pandemic. It sounds like you live together. Yeah, at the time that was a whole different ball game. Like, hell, at the time during that, I was trying to find projects around the house to do.
Yeah.
Like, let's see. A lot of not the assholes. Wow. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of not the assholes. You are not a loser wife, not the asshole. I so feel you. My husband also. Ooh, here we go. My husband also plays games, and it makes me feel so lonely and upset when he chooses to spend time with others for hours on end and spend next to no quality time with me. We've gotten into arguments about how much he games, but it seems I can't get through to him. I don't mind that he plays, but when he plays so much that it affects our relationship, then that's where I draw the line. I don't know what else to say to him. I've told him numerous times how it makes me feel lonely, and he responds saying, I wish you didn't hate the things that I like to do. I don't know what else to do, so here I am on Reddit trying to find solutions for what other couples might have done. I just want to feel important to him as his game's online friends are. That's that right there is another direct point. That is what's going to happen to OP if they don't have communication. This is what happens when you don't communicate with your partner. This is far worse than the OP.
Yeah.
And at this point, it sounds like they're going to, if they didn't.
But again, it's one-sided Reddit. So, like, we're only getting her side of it. So,
correct.
Like, so what's all the time,
Yeah.
So, because some people will take like an hour and say it's all the time. But so, end of the day, communicate with your partner.
Yeah.
Figure out a schedule that works well for each other.
Yep.
And then also, hey, maybe either quiet down or find a separate space to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about all these today.
I feel like such an adult.
It's terrible.
Hate it. Like, especially after the fucking unplugging one, man. Like, ugh.
It hurts. It hurts.
That hurt my soul.
Let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments. And if there's anything that you feel differently about, we would love to hear it. Also, join us in the Discord, link in the description. Come hang out there. There's a whole section for the show, and you can let us know your thoughts in there as well, which we would love to discuss live. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. But we're going to head out of here. There's a button over there that you can hit that actually helps you subscribe faster. Yep. And there's a window right next to me that's YouTube's telling you to pick a certain video. Mm-hmm. And I realize as I'm saying this too that Spotify doesn't do that, so they're probably wondering what the hell they're looking at, but it's okay.
You're watching a YouTube video.
Yeah, you can follow as well, but guess what, we're out of here, so bye.
Bye.